Gavana wa Nandi Stephen Sang amehojiwa na kamati ya bunge la Seneti kuhusu Ugatuzi, ambapo amejibu maswali kuhusu mapato ya chini katika kaunti hiyo. Ameyasema haya muda mchache uliopita. Hebu tusikilize alichokisema.
Whether we need to separate those two for the simple reason. On source revenue, or let me start with Senator Muma's on proper planning. Because some of the projects, and I gave this example because there could be few projects that have faced that challenge of change of use. And the change of use here is not that we have a project that we have allocated resources and wananchi say, no, change it to this. I gave the example, we have so many, for every project that we have to undertake, one of the key constraints nowadays is land, availability of land. And when you have a project, you go to a community and they say, we want a health center. And there was no land available for a health center, but they will tell you that there is a public land here that we want it converted into or availed for a health center. What you then have to do is to sit down, and you can only change that land, the use of that land for a health center once you have a budget. Which means you cannot start the process of starting to change it into a health center or avail it for a health center before you have a budget for it. So the situation here is not that you have a project, that you have allocated resources and wananchi tell you, no, we don't want this project, we want this. It's actually the other way around, where they have a project in mind, they have approved through public participation for the resources, and the budget is available, the land is available, but then you have to do the land use, the change of land use, so that you are able to avail that. And that contributes to a few of the cases, because we, but it's one of those cases that can give or can provide a delay or can lead to a delay. On the question of ECDs and VTCs versus what we spend on disbursements, I may not be able to have it offered, Chair. And I would request that if you give us a bit of time, we can provide that detailed, expenditure. However, I get what Senator Muma is saying, and we agree with you. We were in Naivasha with you the last time when we had all this discussion. Currently, we are not able to even disburse bursaries because of the court case and the directive by Controller of Budget. We would happily be guided by yourself, by this committee. You are politicians, and you also know that the budgeting process is not just, a preserve of the county executive and the governor. You go to the public, there is huge, overwhelming push for allocating resources for bursaries and scholarships in secondary schools, in universities. I agree as a lawyer that maybe that is a consideration that needs to be looked into. But Chair, if you can be able to help us, guide us through as Senate, so that we have, because it's a matter that is affecting all the counties, if we can then be able to be held to account by the law and not just what also the public demands from us. Again, there has been a discussion about synchronizing the support to education sector. Because again, if in my county today, and also in other counties, if in fact you go to a county like West Pokot, and we feel for them when they talk about this matter, that how many, 60% of the secondary school students would miss school if the county is not allowed to do this, to give out bursaries. Maybe in the counties like ours and Kisii and Kiambu, it might be different. But you go to certain areas, it's as critical as it were. How do we deal with this situation so that the students would not be disenfranchised and would not be able to miss education on account of the county not allocating resources? But I agree.
Na mtazamaji, mengi zaidi kuhusiana na taarifa hii yatakujia katika taarifa zetu zijazo.